everyone. Today we'll be making a login system with PHP and MySQL. So first we're gonna start with the index.php. Here I'm gonna create a login form. So this is what I have so far here. Login, as you can see. So I'm gonna start creating a form. I already have wrote some code to save some time. So I'm gonna start with input here. Type will be text, and I'm gonna name it username. And here I'm gonna break so I can write something in the next line. It doesn't look nice, so type will be password, and I'm gonna name it password as well. Break, and here I'm gonna write input. Type will be submit, and name will be submit, and click on save. And if I refresh, you can see here this is the username column. Okay, so this is a username for this one, and this is a password, and I chose type password. And if I write anything here, I cannot see anything because I chose type password. But sorry, here is a text, and I'll be able to see if I type anything here. So I'm just gonna erase it. Now we have our login form ready, and here in the form I have to write method, which is post. There are only few methods, post and get, so we will be using a post method. This is a HTML, not PHP, so you can Google it. And action, action is when you click on submit button here, so it's gonna pass all the information, username and password, to login.php. So now login.php is another file. I'm gonna create it here. This is what it is, and we're gonna start writing PHP code here. And since it will be all PHP, I don't think I have to close anything here. So we're gonna say if is set $_post. This is a PHP method to get values from a form, login form. So now I'm asking if is set post submit, which means if user clicked on submit button, you see this is the name. If that's if I can change name, like you can choose it like anything. For example, I chose submit, so I'm gonna click if is set submit. If usually actually clicked on a submit button, then we're gonna run this code. So if user clicked on a submit button, then we're going to connect to our database server. So here, let me make a database first for the login system. PHP MyAdmin. I'm gonna select a new database here. I'm gonna log in. Just keep it login. Click on create. New database created. So I'm gonna need 3 columns here. Name it users. Click on go. So I'm creating table users. So first will be ID. That's a unique column. Type will be integer. Length will be 100. And it'll be auto incremented. That means if you are adding more users, it will automatically increase. And this is a primary key, that's a main identical. So here I'm gonna type username. It will create a username. Password, here we will store our passwords. Length will be 200, and varchar, and click on save. Now we have our login database. Under login database we have users table. I'm gonna click on users table, and I have to go and insert. So ID will be incremented automatically, so I'm just gonna create a username, will be Harry, and password will be 123. Click on go. That's it, inserted successfully. If I click on user, so I have a username and password in a database. Username is Harry and password is 123, and ID is obtained automatically, like it's auto incremented. So you can pause the video, rewind it, and check it how it's done. And now we're gonna move to login system here. So now we have to connect to the database so we can check if the username and password does exist. So what we're gonna do is, you can also Google it, MySQLi connect, and W3 schools right here. You can see I can just directly copy and paste it here. Well, not exactly, but I can. Okay, so it's MySQLi underscore connect, and since I'm using my local server, local computer, local host, and second parameters will be username. In my case it's root, and you will be same if you're running exam server. And the password, I don't have anything, so I have to leave it blank. And next will be database. Our database name is here login, so I'm just gonna write login, and that's it. So I'm just gonna erase it. Okay, and here I'm gonna open login.php. There is no error, that means database is connected. But if you want to write a code, then you can check if database is connected. If $con, then we can echo, that means we can print something, database connection. Okay, and here we go. If I click on OK, and sorry, go to this page, login.php. Sorry, let me check. Echo, and if it's that. Oh, okay. So the problem is here, I'm including this code in if set submit. I didn't click on submit button, for example, and I'm just gonna paste it outside so we can see if database is connected. You can see database connection is okay. So now we're moving back. So I'm gonna paste this code here. Now I don't need it. If you want, you can keep it, but I know my connection is working, so I'm just gonna keep it here. And the next thing will be here, we're gonna create a user name variable, and we're gonna use MySQLi real escape string. Okay, what it does is it save you from hacking and stuff, so you can use it. You can Google it what exactly it is, but I'm not gonna touch into that because that will make video more long, and it takes 2 parameters. So first will be connection, which is here, MySQL connection, and then second will be dollar underscore. Oh, sorry, I have to keep it capital because that's requirement of PHP. And these are okay. So here we are storing a username. So username will be equal to MySQL. This is just to escape the extra characters, so we can save ourselves from hacking. Post username. So username, I wrote name here. Name is username. If that's uname or something else like a username, whatever, you can keep it. So since I'm keeping username, I'm gonna put username here. That's it. So I'm gonna copy and paste same thing for the password. So I'm gonna change it to password, and here we have to write password. Click on save. See, you should always look for the name. So since the name here is password, as you can see here, it's a password. So we're taking those values. These are the values that gonna go here. So we are getting those values in PHP now, and now we are getting the password. What we have to do is write a SQL statement. SQL be equal to use the double quotes here. So what's the name of the table? Users. So we have to copy it, select all from users. Okay, select all from users, where username, where username, this thing here, is equal to, it takes two quotes and single quotes, where username is equal to username whatever you wrote in a form, in a login form. So this is the username that we have here in database, and this is the username what is wrote by user, and I have to write dollar sign where username is equal to username, and password, this password is equal to, we have to pass in single quotes, password. Okay, so select all from user, where username, this username Harry is equal to whatever I write in here login page. So if I write Harry and 123, which is my password, then it will let me log in. So this is SQL statement so far, and this is just a statement itself. It won't do anything unless we fire the query. So I'm just gonna write if, so we're gonna store result into variable, result is equal to MySQLi num rows, which means if there is any rows, for example right now we have one row result, so if there is any result, MySQLi number of rows, and here we have to put connection variable, because we are creating connection variable with these parameters, and this is our SQL connection and number of rows, and we also have to pass a SQL statement here. If result is equal to MySQL, if there is any result, if you're typing right username and password, you will actually get any result. So if there is any result, then what we have to do, if result is, I have to these are the rows. So if there are any, let's keep it rows, MySQL and number of rows. If there are any number of rows, then what we have to, oh actually sorry, I made a mistake. We have to make a query. I'm gonna erase everything from here. Alright, so I'm not supposed to write it down the number of rows. So what we are doing is we are querying. We are asking MySQL that select everything from the user where username is blah 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 and password is equal to password, and then MySQL will run the query because we are writing this query, and this result will be stored into this result variable. Okay, and what we have to do now is if, now we're gonna write MySQLi number of rows, if there are any number of rows, and we're gonna pass result because we have all the results stored in this result variable. If there are any number of rows, which means, or let's say rows equal greater than 0, if there are rows greater than 0, obviously you're gonna get more result. If there is nothing, then we will throw the error. If there is any rows, then what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a session. So session, and session's name will be, let's say, username, whoever is going to log in. Now keep in mind, session is responsible for keeping the record if user is logged in or not. That's the only way you can track. Website doesn't know if you're logged in or not, so it will be equal to username. That's it. So session name is username and its value is username, which will be Harry because I'm posting the connection username here. And if you're not understanding, that's okay, leave me a comment and I'll tell you what it is if there is any confusion. So since we are writing session username and we are doing header, which will take us to location. These are all PHP pre-made functions, so don't worry if there is any confusion. Go to PHP website or ask me. So location will be user.php. So user.php, and that is it. And since we're using the session here, it's a requirement of PHP. It's a good practice. We always write session start, and that's it. And now we can go to the user.php. Here I have to write PHP. Okay, so here I have to just write one condition: if not sesh oh sorry dollar underscore session user name, sorry, user, sorry, I'm really bad at typing. So if there is no session username, then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take user back to header. Location will be index.php, and that's it. And else, if user did login, then we're gonna echo you are logged in, and that's it. And now I think everything is ready. I'm just gonna give it a test. Sorry, just one thing, you have to create this function here, not the function, it's already created, but you have to post it anywhere wherever you are using the session variable. You have to put session start at the top. Similarly here. So now we're gonna give it final test. My name is username, sorry, my name is Harry, which is my username, and password is 123. Click on submit, and now you're logged in. So it's taking us to user.php here, and if we're putting some wrong password, then it won't take us to anywhere. It'll just stay on login.php, for example this one. But if I type 123, now it's taking to the user.php. Thank you for watching. If there are any comments, questions, leave me in a comment box, and thank you so much.